Testing 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
We're aboard Bismarck. Your Cobra Mark 5. The maximum jump range for this ship is 46.97 feet.
Yeah, baby.
Scanning. Chris Haynes. Scene. Novice. Cobra Mark 3. Scanning. Thomas Person. Scene. Mostly harmless. Diamondback. One biological signal and 5 human signals detected on body A1.
There we go. That maneuver is only possible in VR. If you're not in VR, you couldn't have done that. What is that beeping? I don't want to blow up.
Initiating orbital entry procedures for body A1. It is a highly
Really?
component world, terraformable, with gravity of 0.58 feet and a surface temperature of 8.3 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah, baby. Look at that. Look at that base right there in the middle of all that stuff. So I was going to build a racetrack here that would run up and down these ridge lines, run along here, and then go back, I don't know, maybe over this ridge line and all the way around. They look really sharp, but when you get in the SRV, they're actually pretty wide. So, but where do I want to put those? Let's go look at it from another angle. There's a ship coming in. So, if we're starting from the base, we'll be starting from this little plateau. And where could they leave from? Oh, there's big pits. Huh. Well, that's a construction site. Walk by that place and they'll whistle at you. Hold on. Hold on. Who is that guy? Does he deserve to live? Oh, he's clean, so I can't kill him. Anonymous access. Let's do a butt swish right over the top of this guy. It's another landing maneuver that's hard to do in a flat screen. Hmm. I need a lot of aluminum. Oh, I don't have any arcs. I want to rename these bases. Pardon me, I don't want to use the regular base names. Gotta quit hitting that microphone. Know what I mean, Vern? Are you there? Okay. I don't feel like getting up and finding my wallet so I can buy more arcs. I did want to rename this base. McGuire Vision. Actually, I don't even know what I want to name it. So, here's what we're going to do. Oh, shut up.
That's our second landing on the body. Commander, what's the plan?
The plan, Stan, is we're going to go four-wheel drive a little bit. Let's go see what the local terrain's like. So let's do a starting point right here. I have got to quit hitting that microphone. Switch here. Okay. Just in case you don't see it when I'm switching screens, I'm using the SRV tracker to set my coordinate and then come back into the game. And so now this will be the start point. Then we'll go, let's go ripping up this hill here. From here, they would go race, race, race.
I think I just heard something on the com. Could be static, but I'm going to check it out just in case.
We need to go here. Here, here, here. Ride the ridge line. There we go. Up, 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 up. There we go. We'll run this ridge line all the way up. Oh, this doesn't go all the way up. It doesn't really go all the way up. So really, here's the ship right there. I should go from the ship through that flat area to over here somewhere and set my next waypoint. Yeah. Somebody just flew over. Look at that. I think I just cast a shadow. That was kind of cool, actually. So I'll let them come ripping through here, and they can start the climb. I think they go up this way. Let's look. Oh man.
No wonder we've been having
Yeah, she's a riot. So I'm going to go right up this line here and go add my next waypoint for this race. You know, I'm not liking the ridge line. See, something that does happen is sometimes you'll look at a course from the air and you'll say, "Oh, that looks like it'll be really cool in an SRV." And then you get down in the SRV and sometimes the course isn't that cool or it's indistinguishable what was painfully obvious from the air maybe impossible to see from the ground. Hold on. I'm just drinking some medicine. Yeah. So we could come straight from the ship over to here. And I bet we can race around this thing here. Or this could just be a deep cavern where people fall and die. Oh, look at that. You know, now that I look at it, that ridge line up there, that looks really ugly. I mean, you could do it in an SRV, but it just looks really ugly. I thought it was more of a easy run. So let's see if this drops down. Let's see. What I'm looking for is maybe some kind of a pathway down there at the base of this ridge. So you would come in here from the ship, and then what? Doesn't look like a trail over there. It looks like it just kind of runs into the mountain. Why don't we set this as the next waypoint? My ship just flew away without me. Hate when it does that. Okay, so I have set the second waypoint. So from here, I can decide where I want to go. Oh, I got email. Architect payment? Oh, 300,000. I'm up to 300,000 credits a week, but carrier. Oh, it's only 31 million. So hey, all I need is another 50 or 60 systems making money and my fleet carrier is paid for. Whoa. 31 million a week, baby. Although I kind of really don't need some of those services since the systems I've built have those services. I mean, do you really need the Xenobio if your base has
I
one?
just remembered we forgot to pack the spacesuit. Don't worry, I'm sure the vacuum of space won't be too bad.
I don't know if you heard that, but that's ED Copilot. If you don't have ED Copilot already, it is actually a lot of fun. 'Cause not only does it do the racing and such, but it's just amusing because of all the background chatter. When you approach your carrier, you hear all the employees talking about how the boss is coming, what a jerk, and the head brown noser's talking about meeting you there, full military honors, and just all sorts of stuff like that. Um, when you scan somebody, if they got a bounty, Copilot will tell you how much it's for. So you don't have to waste your time interdicting somebody for a 20,000 credit bounty, you know? So overall, Ed Copilot is kind of cool. She does get chatty. I have mine set to talk dirty to me because just cuz. Hold on. I gotta take my cough medicine. Yeah, yeah. Oh, it's good. So according to the map, I should be able to go up and around this, but realistically looking at that, I just don't see it. All I see is an ugly climb. But you know what? Let's try it. If not, we'll go the other way and try to hook up with that other ridge line. We have 2 waypoints set, so so far not so bad.
That the Alliance had a new slogan. Join the Alliance. We have cookies.
I joined an alliance for cookies. Oh no! Here we go. We're getting there. Come on, baby, come on. And we're gonna hang a left here, and we'll go up over this ridge line. Actually, no. When we get to the top of this, we will set our third waypoint. Oh, what a bing, baby! Actually, you know what? Let's just go to the top of that peak and set the waypoint. Make you earn it. Earn it, baby. Earn it. God, we are so steep. Oh, just another peak. See, this is one of the things that happens in real mountain climbing is you get there just as you summit the peak, oh, we're almost there, and you get to the top of that little peak, and oh no, it was just hiding the main peak. And then you get to the top of that, and that was hiding the main peak too. You go somewhere like the San Francisco peaks in Flagstaff, and there's 3 peaks, so it fakes you out 3 different times. So just when you think, oh, I'm almost there, no, that's just the first peak. And then the second and the third. By the time you get to the third, it's kind of, depending on the weather, it's kind of cold. So I'm going to go ahead and neutralize my brakes here. Give me a second. I'm going to set my third waypoint. Stand by. Third waypoint set. Set. So, the base is way down there. So let's go across the ridge line. I don't know about going up that thing right there. Sorry about that. My controls were not totally in line. So we're going to go up this baby. King of the hill, baby. And then from here, I guess we'll follow that ridge line, won't we? There's the base over there. Let's turn off the night vision. Here's my base over there. We got this whole ridge line here. Let's set this as a waypoint. Give me a second here. Gotta take my whoa, 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 whoa. Gotta take my feet off the pedals. Stand by. Okay, I'm back. Uh, who is that? Okay, let's see if we can jump from here to there. Oh yeah, baby. Oh, that could have gone better, but look at that. Hopping from peak to peak like I'm evil frickin' Knievel, baby. That calls for some more cough medicine. It's a special cough medicine from Mexico. You can tell it's real because it's got two X's on the front of the bottle. I'm gonna set this as a waypoint, so stay close. Don't drive away. Okay. So from here, we want to go down this ridge line. Are you ready to go down the ridge line? That's kind of cool right there. And we'll go down this ridge line. I'm not sure, but I think this planet may be orbitally locked, tidally locked. Boink! What I'm going to do is make this a mad scramble down the hill in the SRV. I've done this on a couple courses where I let you fly down the hill, and it's just like find your way, keep your thrusters pumped, and find the fastest way down the hill without dying. And this planet does have a 5.8G, so it's got some gravity. Boink. Boing. Boing. We'll get down here and then we'll hang a right. We'll make this our waypoint. Ooh, right there. So you get all the way down that ridge line to this spot right here. And then from here, hold on a second. Waypoint added. And I'm back. Waypoint has been added. Uh, now, okay. From here, our next step is to get back to base. So we got to go 3.27 kilometers. So let's go through all of this. Oh, this is ugly. I'm not even sure I like where this took me. Oh man, I'm beating this thing up. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy is you can't land on that moon. That little bitty moon right there. And you know what? I don't think I like this course very much on this end. Look at that guy coming in. I am not a fan of this course because that is some ugly territory right there. I think I might have taken a bad turn here somewhere because this is some ugly stuff to have a racer come through. I mean, they can do it, but oh, they could have picked a better course. This is just raw dogging it, man. This isn't even a course. This is a debris field. I need to find a better way back to the base. Or maybe I'll just make them work for their lunch. Nobody said it's supposed to be easy, right? You guys deserve a good spanking every Sunday, right? I know I certainly do. We're almost there. Wow, we really got off course. Almost back to the base. In the words of Red Leader, almost there. Of course, you remember what happened to Red Leader. Almost there turns into little mini pieces of shrapnel. So I was parked where? I don't remember where I was parked. Let's see if we can do this without getting any tickets. I'm driving through town here. Ow. I wonder if I can steal stuff from my own construction site. Oops. Another ship coming in. Okay. I'm not crazy about this race course. What's going on over here? Guns, guns, guns. If I shot them, do you think they'd shoot me back? I bet they would. I bet they would smoke me like a cheap cigar. Okay. Yes, Siri. I know you're mad. I don't use your full utilities. I'm in VR. Ed Copilot doesn't work great in VR. No, it's difficult. Give me a second. I gotta check some stuff. Wow. So there is somebody actually watching right now. Okay. So that one person who's watching, good afternoon. You must be some kind of serious sicko hardcore player. I like you already. I don't know if you're just tuning in, but I just basically went through and mapped a race course that I'm not terribly happy with. Sure. How do you say it? Look at that crate mark too. You know, that used to be one of my favorite ships. Before the new ships came out, Crate Mark II is special. When I was first coming in the game, oh wow, look at that. Anyway, when I was first starting out in the game, the Crate Mark II, that was the first ship that I didn't just trade up to get another ship. Everyone before it, they were so wanting and so frustrating. You couldn't do anything with them. I was just happy to trade them in and get a bigger, better ship. But the Crate Mark II, Planet Express is what I called her. That ship, I loved her so much, I kept her and I've kept her ever since. I got 46, 47 ships and a fleet carrier, and I still love that ship. I still love that ship. Mark II. And the thing people don't realize, you'll hear them talk about speeds of ships, and they'll talk about top end speed, cruise speed, and boost, but they never factor in the rate of boost. The Crate Mark II has a 5 second boost, which means that you can boost fast enough to stay somewhere between top cruising speed and boost. So you can usually get an extra 50, 60 meters per second sustained velocity out of a Mark II over what it should do just because it boosts so fast. And not only that, but when people are chasing you, it's really comforting to be able to pump that boost every 5 seconds, just GTFO, when people are after you. I always love that about it. And only a few ships, I think 3 or 4 ships in the whole game have that 5 second boost. The rest all have 7, 9, and 11 second boosts and makes them kind of useless. Even the Viper's got like a 7 or 8 second boost. So you're done boosting by the time it's ready to boost again. But the Mark II and, if I'm not mistaken, the Cobra Mark IV will also boost every 5 seconds. So it's pretty quick. And that really makes a lot of difference, being able to just pump that pedal every 5 seconds. Boom, boom, boom. Go, go, go. Gadget arms. And that is something that I do appreciate. Okay, I'm uh I'm all out of cough medicine, so I'm gonna take like a 60-second break to go to the fridge and grab another cup of cough medicine. I'll be right back. And then I'm gonna probably go and map another course somewhere. So just give me a minute here. All right, I'm back. It just occurred to me that I'm aware that I'm expanding. So anyhow, I just realized that I thought I had a viewer this whole time. I thought, oh wow, I got a viewer. I'm not totally sad, and then it just realized that I'm probably the viewer because I'm co-watching this on my tablet because this is my first time streaming, and I'm kind of pathetic and sad and fat and old like your dad. Well, probably older than your dad, but all right, I'm gonna recall my ship. We gotta go a click away. Dag nabbit. Dag nabbit rabbit. We drive across the landing pad. That's how we got in trouble last time. All right, we gotta go a click away. All right, are we a click away? 300 meters. 200 meters. Oh, fine. Let's go out here in the flat area over there. Let's go way out here in the flats. Just got a call from my ship, and we're gonna go to one of my other bases. I don't know which one. Oh, ow! Next planet is gonna be full of cats. Well, this planet's full of cats. In my house, they're all fat cats. Man, are we going yet? All right, finally. Where is our ship? Let me set down my cough medicine here real quick. Hold on. Hey, look, it's Pissmaster. Commander Daddy-O. Just in case you're wondering how that's pronounced. Yeah, shut up. You don't say Daddy-O, it's Daddy-O. Like one word, like you're a 1950s hipster. Daddy-O. Know what I mean, Daddy-O? And just so you know, my pronouns are dude. Oh, uh-oh. I think I'm actually stuck under my ship. That hasn't happened in a while. Hold on. I think this is technically like board ship. Board. Does this mean we're gonna have a board meeting? Ha ha ha. Ah, that is some good cough medicine. Yeah, cough medicine. That's the trick. Okay.
All systems are nominal. Punch it when you're ready.
I think this is the one we want to go to. One of these, I built these on a plateau like Chichen Itza, and I've been really wanting to go play with that spot. So let's take a look and see if that's the one. Look at that beautiful terrain. Tell you what, let's do it the old way. Oh no, never mind, never mind, never mind. We'll do it Super Cruise way. I was thinking I was in my Viper, which I was in right before I started the stream, and I was thinking, wow, that'd be. Let's just do it in the Viper. The Viper's almost twice as fast as this ship, so go 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 Gadget Arms. Yeah, and after I get done with this stream, I need to go put some money on my books so I can rename these things. I don't know about Shibata's plantation and all that. But to be quite frank, I have 6 bases to name, and I'm not quite sure what to name them. I already used Talladega. I built a pirate base called Bada Bing. So that's where Tony Soprano and the dudes hang out. The Bada Bing. No, this is not the one. This is not the base I wanted. So we're at McGuire. Let's go to Keller. I'm sorry, I don't remember which one was the cool one that looks like Chichen Itza. And I hope I'm not making y'all dizzy by flipping my head around in VR. I know on a flat screen it really looks weird, but in VR it's just perfectly natural to glance around. So I do got to say this Cobra Mark 5, I do like this little ship. It's a great little runabout. Um, it's just quick. It's what? Mission identified. I'm not on a mission. They're always trying to get me to go do deals, but those deals that show up on your comms panels up here, they always seem to be sketchy. I've tried a couple of them. You go to the places, the people aren't there. And like, I don't know. It's like I keep expecting to get robbed when I'm at one of those. All right, let's go ahead and look at Keller, see if Keller's the one I'm looking for. I'm sorry, I don't know my bases by heart yet. I just laid them down, and the last couple of days I've been building. Oh no, this is the one in the crater. Oh, man, actually, this is going to be a fun course. I was thinking of putting a race course around the crater. Yeah, I was thinking it might be kind of cool to just race around the crater for a short track. Ultimately, all those tracks are going to be linked, which will be a 1,200-kilometer track. So yeah, I'll probably put a track here in this thing, in this crater. And here's a way to see if you've been playing a while. Do you remember when Frontiers first came out and you could land on planets and every crater had an impact spire in the middle. You could even climb them. And then I guess they realized that they really didn't. They only have impact spires when they're brand new. So they went and edited it out. When Horizons first came out, that was the first one where you could land on planets, and there were some anomalies. There was one planet where there were canyons, these skinny little canyons that were thousands of feet deep, and it was so the whole planet was like a giant fingerprint, except that the gap between the prints was thousands of feet. It was a crazy planet, and I think they fixed it eventually. But people used to do some incredible canyon running there until they fixed that. And there were a couple other planets that were glitchy and had weird things. There was one where it had a mountain so high that it stuck out of the atmosphere, and a lot of different weird stuff when Horizons first came out. Okay, here we go. We're going to this one over here. It's an agricultural center. Climb, baby. Up and away flies the ship made of steel and titanium and plastic. Okay, let's flip her over so we can use that big, beautiful window. See, the thing people don't realize is there are pros and cons of playing in VR. Pros are I can do a lot of maneuvers that are just not possible on a flat screen like the butt slide. When you're coming in for a landing, I can whip the ship around ass end first and land it because I can look. I can actually look and track the course as I'm moving. And if you're on flat screen, that just doesn't work, even with the head tilting stuff. So, but people playing on a flat screen have an advantage because they can see their whole cockpit at a glance. You just flick your eyes from one side of the screen to the others. That's it. But for me in VR, I literally have to do this to this. So looking across, you flick your eyes to do this. So although VR may be more realistic and more immersive, there are pros and cons. You are actually playing an advantage. Not only that, but I found that most of the guys who really kick ass at SRV racing and Canyon racing, they're not playing in VR. They're playing flat screen with keyboards and mouse, or in some cases, PlayStation controllers, low tech equipment. And here I am sitting here in my multi-thousand-dollar flight simulator, and these guys just beat the crap out of me all the time. It's kind of funny. So, this is one of the bases. I love how I put this thing right here on top of this. So, Chichen, I think it was. Wasn't that one in South America where they built on top of the plateau and the Romans couldn't get to them, or someone couldn't get to them for a long time and they finally killed themselves? And so, I came here to build a racetrack. It is a cool spot. What is here to race on now? What did I see when I chose this site? I must have seen something that made me pick this spot. Maybe it's just a plateau. Who's that guy? Phil Elliott. Shall we murder him? No. I already have fines. Oh, man. I wonder what he would do if I landed on back of his ship. I think he'd be mad, don't you think? Hold on. Let me sit down my cough medicine. I'm going to fly in here and land. And when we get to the interface, it'll show me which base I picked for this site. Oh, man. I blame it on the cough medicine. Officer. Okay, construction services. What am I building here? I don't even remember. That's it? Uh, that's the place? That's what I'm building? Huh, it's kind of underwhelming. Uh, Jesus is sad. I still have no one watching. It's probably okay though, because this is my first stream, and I'm a knucklehead, and oh, that's right. Okay. So I wanted to build a racetrack here. So let's look around. You know, I think the racetrack will just be right here, racing around it. I think we'll just race around the base of the peak. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to park it over here and get out in the SRV and try ripping around it and just see if it's a prospective course or not. So we've landed here 3 times. What? Third date means sex? What? Why do you keep telling me how many times we've landed on this planet? ED co-pilot. All right, so that's it. So let's see what it's like to race around this and see if this is going to be a viable racetrack. Or did I just build a base on top of a plateau that looks really cool and has no actual practical value like many of the things I've done? Yeah. So, okay. Let's start from. I, I'm going to set a waypoint and then go unload some biological material and then come right back. Oh, the cat just let himself in. Yeah, my house, the cats open the doors and just walk right in. Where's my big fat cat? All right, you guys stay put. Don't go anywhere. Kitty, kitty. What? Hey, baby. All right, let me mute this. All right, I'm back. Just check the stream. Only one person watching. Some loser. I met the guy. He's a total douche. That guy's a knucklehead. I have shoes smarter than that guy. Okay, let's drive around this thing and see. Yeah, here we go. Daddy-o! That probably sounded like a Dean Cain yell. Maybe I shouldn't be so high up. I should be down lower where I can go faster. We can already make serious jumps. Siri? Oh, my ship flew away. Man. Now that was something else. Remember I was talking about when before Odyssey, the previous release, it when you could first land on planets, a lot of people became unsettled by the sight of their ship leaving them. That was something that took a little getting used to. A lot of people in the forums were like, "My ship just took off and left me." And I was like, "No, don't worry. It's just going into orbit. You can recall it when you need it." Hold on, I'm going to make a waypoint. Okay, I'm back from making that waypoint. But yeah, that was something when Horizons first came out. You'd land on a planet, you'd get a couple of clicks away from your ship, and you'd see it leave, and you're like, "Wait, don't leave me." And even after you got used to it doing that, it was still just kind of unsettling. Like, hey, where's my ship going, man? I don't think I should be this high up. I think it should be down here. Look at that rock. That's a weird looking rock right there. You see what I'm looking at? Of course you're not. Of course you don't see it because you're not here. There's nobody following the stream but me. There's nobody watching live. So I'm talking to myself. That's a really cool rock. That rock is so cool. It's a waypoint. That's a waypoint. Look at that. Now the only problem with that is will the game leave that there? Will it be persistent? Because sometimes it changes the mappings, and the mapping kind of comes from a similar process as the Galactic Forge, and so I can't guarantee that rock will always be there. But let's set a waypoint right here. We're going to set it right here, and so people will have to come around here, and they'll go up this mountain, and then around, and then through that little thing right there. So hold on, stand still, take my foot off the pedals. Okay, I'm back. It's set. We'll go this way. We'll go down through here now. And really, I should be taking notes right now because there are things to be adjusted later. You don't just set down waypoints for this process to work. You determine how big an area does that waypoint cover. So, like, if you want to make sure that somebody goes behind the rock, you're going to want to put a waypoint that is only big enough to cover this area. So they can't just hit the waypoint over there. You know what I mean? Um, Also, you can put in comments and important things and tell them, yeah, thanks. Anyhow, so you can set the size of the gateway. You can set the altitude in case they might be flying through that area. You can set comments that tell them head to the valley or go around the rock or like that one I told you about where I you fly off the mountain at the end. Um, the last waypoint, you just jump off a cliff and use your thrusters to fly you home. And I actually have the the race course. You can put that information in there that tells you to fly off the canyon, and it tells you to gun it. Then you just fly off the end of the canyon and float home. So you can add waypoints, tell people look for the saucer tower. And normally I would be making notes like that, but right now this is just a first one. God, I'm really steep, aren't I? Another ship. Wow, what am I? I don't think I'm supposed to be here. I think I'm in the wrong place. I am way up here. Yeah, I'm not supposed to be this high. I'm supposed to drop down. I'm supposed to be down there. Not supposed to be clear up here. So I got off course. That's something else in VR. That can actually feel a little bit terrifying to suddenly realize that you're that steep on a mountain. You don't notice it until you look out the side and you see the terrain like perpendicular to your viewpoint. Like, oh, wow, I'm really going up a steep cliff because you don't realize it in VR. What's she talking about? Tacos rule. You eat tacos anywhere. If there's ever a place where you can't eat tacos, I don't want to live there. I assume you guys can hear a co-pilot, right? Okay. Waypoint right here. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. We zero up the brakes. Stand by. Waypoint set. Let's go. Now, keep in mind what I'm doing today is just setting waypoints. Um, After this, there's actually quite a bit of labor involved with tweaking the map and testing it and adding a lot of notes. Like I mentioned, I'm supposed to be taking notes right now. Then I would be adding those notes, and I did not because I'm streaming and I've kind of got my hands full driving in VR while streaming and on Discord and taking cough medicine and hold on, getting a little Rick Sanchez here. Come on, Morty. So, right now, I'm kind of looking at this and trying to decide where I want to end this. Because what I'd like to have, eventually, we're going to have to climb the mountain. The star base is up there. I want to finish at the star base. So, I got to decide where I want to go up that and then sail into town. I mean, that looks doable, but I think I want to go farther around. So let's go a little farther around the base of this thing. And I'm actually going straight from point to point. A savvy racer who's tried the course a few times may actually go down there in that lush flatlands and accomplish it a lot closer. Sometimes the shortest point is not really a straight line, especially not when there's terrain. Yeah, that really gets steep up there. I don't know about climbing that. But this is one of the areas where VR is really good. When you're trying to look around at terrain, if you're on a flat screen, you're fixed. You can hit a button and switch to one. You can go back and forth, but you just don't have that freedom of movement to do this. Of course, I have to be careful. I hit the end of my cable on my Pimax and it yoinks my head. For those who want to know, I am running a Pimax 5K, one of the original Pimax headsets that came out. Um, it's cabled. It's got a huge field of view. Each eye is like 2K. So that's why there's this kind of offset view when I film because a 1080p image like you're looking at is only the top left corner of my left eye. It's not even the whole left eye. Um, that's the thing about these is that they're a really big picture. You got to have a good video card to support them. I'm running a 4070, which handles the Pimax quite nicely. Very, very beautiful, high resolution, a lot of peripheral vision, great view to see. So if you're looking for something cabled, you might be surprised with the Pimax originals that are out there surplus on the market. A lot of them, people got rid of them because of the new Pimax. I forget what the name of the new one is. The Crystal. Yeah. Haven't tried the Crystal. It's a lot of money, but you'd be surprised. There's a lot of surplus 4Ks out there and they work really great. They're compatible with the standard light towers. They're compatible with standard controllers. They work fine in Steam. I'm going to set a waypoint here. Give me a second here. Okay. Waypoint set. Drinking my cough medicine. Ah, me grog. Okay, that is just way too steep to climb. So we're going to go around this a little bit farther and look for a place to climb it at an adventurous pace, because that is ugly. That looks more like a cliff than a hill to me. Huh, there's an orca over there. Yeah, I like the orca. I own one. It's the big one, the beluga. Don't buy a beluga. Belugas are terrible. And it's a couple of things. One is that big tail gets caught in the slot, and sooner or later, you'll wind up getting killed over that tail getting caught in the slot, and you'll be full of people when it happens. Um, and the other problem is you'd think a ship that big, the way they cut up the partitions, it's really kind of. I thought you could really pack people in, and I did not like the way they divided the internal space. I did not like the way that they divvied up the internal space in the Beluga. I thought for a ship that big, I should have been able to set up an ocean liner inside, and I was quite disappointed. And then it won't go places. It won't do the mine run. It's too big. So Beluga's just a piece of junk. The orca and the dolphin, they're fun. Okay, I think we can climb this. So I'm going to make this a waypoint, and then we're going to charge up that right there. I should shoot him. Shoot him. I'll just get a fine if I shoot this guy. And he should be shooting down here anyhow. Darren Kelly. All right, give me a second here. Set a waypoint right here. And we're going up that because it doesn't look that bad on the map. Stand by. Waypoint is set. Let's charge up this thing. This isn't bad at all. Shit. Taking it a little bit of an angle. But we are really climbing a steep chunk of mountain here. Yeah, this was a bad way to come up. It looked okay, but yeah. Hang on. Almost there. Almost there. Almost there. They came from behind. Ha ha, we're there. Look at that. We're here. So, where do we want to make the waypoint? Hold on. Let me drink some cough medicine and then think about that. That's good cough medicine. HON Mexico, baby. So, where do we want to make the ending of this? Well, it won't even be shaped like this when they're done. So, this will actually be a placeholder. I won't be able to publish this map until they're done with the base because there could be a landing pad right here. But Tracker does allow you to go back and edit. There's a ship over me. Did I get him? You there! You're filthy keelback. I should kill you for your sight. Dangerous in a keelback? It's like dangerous in a minivan. Anyhow, I'm going to make a waypoint here. If that's okay with you thugs. Stand by. Oh, 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 oh! Sorry, I forgot to take my feet off the pedals before I alt tab. I'm a knucklehead. Knucklehead. Okay, so that's the last of it. Wow. So I can save that. Problem is
A high-performance server that gives you full control and freedom isn't.
League of Carnage. Wait. Let me turn on the echo effect. League of Carnage. There, I'll turn off the extra microphone. Oh wow, I just heard myself in the playback and I sound really I was gonna use a word that we don't use anymore. I sounded really lame. Like a dad. So it's kind of cool. I just spent the last 24 hours following another YouTuber's 24-hour live stream. Okay, I will say that that qualifies as artificial intelligence. Buy a plate of nachos. That is like the best computer AI advice I think I've ever heard from one of these silicon beasts. All right, girl. Anyhow, what were we talking about? Um, I don't know. Want to get out and walk around? Let me set down my cough medicine. Hold on a minute. And we're gonna knucklehead. Okay. So those of you playing on flat screen see right now what happens to VR players when we go on foot. This is what we're greeted with. This floating window thing. And you know what the most bothersome thing about this is? They can give us full VR all the way around. I know they can do it because when you're on board a fleet carrier in VR and it jumps, if you're on the bridge for that time during the jump, you go to full VR. You have 360 wraparound vision. You can see your hands, your feet, all that. So they could do it. I think what's scaring Frontier from fixing this is they equate fixing this with having to set up all the infrastructure for controllers and trackers and base stations and full VR movement. But the thing is they don't really need it. Most of the guys who are doing this, myself included, I'm not going to get up out of my seat and go out on the floor and recable and run a headset out there. All I'm going to do is switch from my HOTUS to mouse keyboard. I'm not even going to get up out of my seat. I'm going to stay right here and it's going to be WSAD movement with a mouse. That's what I need. I just want 360 view when I look around, and then I'll still run around with a keyboard mouse. I don't need full movement. I don't need trackers. I don't need my index controllers to configure. I don't need any of that stuff to work in Elite Dangerous. Just give me keyboard and mouse functionality in full VR, and I would be happy. And that's 99% of the people. So, and I say that, keep in mind, I'm one of the few people who has the option of going to a big play area. Right in front of my flight simulator, I have like an 11 by 11 play area where I can go, and I do a lot of games like Into the Radius and Blade and Sorcery, and it's a big free-form area. And then next to it, adjacent to it, I have the flight simulator. Flight and driving simulators are side by side. And yes, please. Actually, bring me a virtual cough medicine, please. And even though I have the rig where I could get up and go out there on foot, wireless VR, I wouldn't want to do it. It's just a transition back and forth because I actually use a different VR headset out on the floor than I use here in the simulator. Here in the simulator, I use a cabled Pimax 5K, but out on the floor in the open area, I have a Vive Pro 2 with a wireless adapter and a couple of index controllers and light towers and the usual stuff. And so when I go from the simulator to the floor, I actually would have to shut down, restart, launch Steam again, load the new device, and do that. It wouldn't be a fluid thing. Simply because I'm not willing to drag a cable out to the floor. I could do that. I could get up and drag a cable out to the floor, but um, I've been doing VR for a few years and I don't do cabled anymore on the floor. I'll do it in a simulator where you don't mind, but out on the floor having a cable, that just doesn't work. I like wireless. And those of you that have done VR, you probably understand what I'm talking about. That the having that cable down the back is just a big PETA. You know, it's not a, it's uncool. Going wireless in VR is sweet, and that's why I think everybody's looking at Steam's new rig because it's natively wireless, and that'll be so sweet. Getting rid of that cable, not having to do the whole Fabio head shake thing, trying to adjust your cable, not having to do counterclockwise circles to unwind the cable because you're a clockwise winder. Yeah, some people turn clockwise and they wind up winding up their cable, so they have to turn counterclockwise to unwind it. I don't know. It's a weird phenomena. Um, I'm going to assume you can hear Copilot talking to you. I don't know if you can or not because she says weird stuff. So anyhow, we were going to hold on. I gotta take an inhaler. In a second, I gotta go get some new cough medicine. So let's go see what's over here. Now I'm gonna try not to get in trouble while I'm here because I've already got a. I already owe some fines, so every time I show up, they're like angry at me, even though I own these people. This is my base. I built this. This is all my stuff. I own it. Hey, in Frontier Development, if you're watching this, um, I want to be able to call my SRV. You know how you can call the ship and have it come to you? I want the SRV to come to me too, you know? So right now I just have to be mindful I don't walk too far away because as far away as you walk, you have to walk back because you can't summon your SRV. It's not as smart as a Tesla yet, even though it's the year 3600. I mean, honestly, Hervey the love bug would have just followed me around everywhere I went, and I wouldn't even have to call him. The SRV's got to at least be as smart as Herbie. Hey, there's some guys there. Is that what I see? Is that guys? Where's my SRV? I think it's over here. I don't want to get lost. At least if I get sent to jail, I'm in the bubble. Um, the other bases that I built and race courses, they were 1100 light years beyond the nearest jail. So they were like, if you go to the nebula north of the bubble, the Omega, I think it's the Omega. Hold on. Why? Explain it. What I can show you. Look, see, here's where we are. That's my planet. I can put 6 to 6 here. It's the only landable planet. And there's a little icy ring. But we're looking for. Why are we here? Galaxy map, knucklehead. Okay. that the Lagoon Nebula? Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. So that's the Lagoon Nebula. Lagoon. Where did I get Omega?
The good news is that we're making great progress. The bad news is that we're still millions of miles away from anywhere interesting.
Shut up, Alexa. Stupid AI. I got boots smarter than you. Yeah. So anyhow, I don't know how I got Omega Nebula out of Lagoon Nebula, but there's the bubble, and there's a Lagoon Nebula, and my other race tracks are out here. And what you can't see is there's actually a highway between here and the bubble. 5,000 light year highway. Can you imagine that? That's how busy people have been. All that area, hold on, where's my mouse? All that area in here has all been colonized. Just this long, straggling line of bases. We are 5,000 light years north of the bubble. Now, granted, it's like 25,000 light years to Sag A. So we got a ways to go, but I mean, that's pretty far out. If you go and colonize on the Sagittarius A highway, or over that way, you can go to the Colonia highway. And I think that's actually pretty far too. Although now that they just released that new ship that jumps 500 light years at a time, I don't know if I would be so busy building a highway to Colonia. It's a lot of work. There's a lot of hauling involved with building these bases. And not only that, but these bases these guys are building, they're not little bitty bases like I'm building. These are class two, class three bases, which are a lot of stuff. Takes a team. So I don't know if I'd be so pro building on that highway now that there's a ship that can do it in 52 jumps. I think that's what the new Calypso will do. I saw on YouTube the other day somebody did it in 50 some jumps. I mean, once you set up the course, yeah. Hey, Alexa, 25% less humor. I am going to pause right here. I have to get more cough medicine and um, expend some biomatter, and I'll be back. So you stay put. Not like there's anybody watching, anyhow. It shows I'm still the only one watching the stream. So I'm just talking to myself and answering, and yeah, basically crazy stuff. So, woohoo. I'll be back in a minute. Maybe. I'm back. Back in black. In the sack. How did you know I'd live to be black? Oh, so that's where I got Omega Nebula from. Omega Nebula's over there, but I'm building near the Lagoon Nebula. Oh. What did I do over there? I don't know. All this cough medicine's gone to my head. I need to call my ship. But I don't think I can do it up here. You got to get at least a kilometer away from the site to recall your ship. And this base pretty much takes up every inch of it. So maybe I am going to just haul cargo for a while. So I can build these bases. I mean, I can name them and hug them and squeeze them and call them George. Ugh. I have to leave to call my ship. Okay, well, let's just go out this way. Nobody's watching because I didn't tag this site because I'm a noob at the streaming. Kind of a tard.
You know what's scarier than angry gargoyles? A space station's mail slot when you're trying to dock in a hurry.
I like when she talks about her mail slot. You know, I wonder how long it'd take to race from here to that peak. What else is up here before we get back in our ship? That might be a better race than what we just did. Let's go over here and look and see if there's any other cool stuff. Because, yeah, it'd be kind of a unique race to race from here to a peak. Oh, I like this. You start from here, and then, oh, there's an ugly crater in the way. I wonder how far it is. Oh, that looks like Mount Suribachi. Bye bye, little peak. Bye bye, little peak. What is that? A race from this little edge right here. This to that might be kind of cool. But how far is it? Because I mean, you look at it and go, "Oh wow, that looks like I could totally race to it." And yeah, that could be an hour thing. It's kind of hard to tell. But that seems like it'd be a nice race course. Then you have to race to the top and call for your ship or something, or I don't know. Hold on. I got to take my cough medicine. I'm almost out of cough medicine. After I run out of this cough medicine, I have to take my backup cough medicine. Um, it's special. It's from Germany. It's called Jaeger something or other. My regular stuff's from Mexico. It's got two X's on the front, so you know it's real. That's always comforting to hear. I need to save that race I just did. And then try this one. Although, until I rename the bases, I don't have proper names for the racetracks I'm building, which makes it a filing issue. So, really, I should just get my ship, take my fleet carrier somewhere, and fill it up with steel and come back. And then, after the steel, do the aluminum, do the CMM composites. Each of those represents 3 loads, roughly. 3 fleet carrier loads. 3 loads in a fleet carrier. Yeah. Or I could race to that peak over there. Hopefully, there aren't any silver police between here and there, because 'cause they'll definitely pull me over because the cough medicine and all, and, I hear those guys are dicks. Little peak. But that little peak is through a crater. We would have to go around the crater. Or there's that. And what's down there? Let's look. It actually looks like it'd be a fast run most of the way. And then you just scoot up that peak. So, you know what? Let's do that, because that sounds like way more fun than hauling cargo for the next 6 to 10 hours. Although no one's seeing this stream, so I may end the stream and restart a new one. What? She said the coffee's running low? Okay, activate the National Guard. We're low on coffee. That shit don't fly. We're low on coffee. I'm out of cough medicine. That's it. What was I doing? I was going to save the old map, the one that I just did that went all the way around the base. And then, you know, uh, where's my tablet? Hold on. I got to check a name real quick. You guys just sit tight. There's nobody watching anyhow, so who cares if you sit tight or not? Ancient city built atop a plateau. They refuse to surrender. South American city on a plateau, ancient civilization. Ancient civilization in South America built on a plateau. Chichen Itza. South American archaeological site that's up on a plateau. Ancient city high atop a plateau.
Just a heads up, I have strategically placed a rubber chicken in the cockpit. Safety first, you know.
Archaeological site, city high on a plateau. Okay. If you're listening to the live stream right now and you have half a brain, could you tell me the name of the South American city that's built up on a plateau? It was an old archaeological site. And no, I'm not talking about Masada, the Jewish site where they died. There's another one in South America that's up there. It's kind of like Masada. Do you remember what it was? Ancient ruins high atop a plateau. There it is. Machu Picchu. Machu Picchu. That's what the city was named. I couldn't remember it off the top of my head because the cough syrup's gone to my head. Anyhow, let me sit. That's it. I'm gonna do some work here. You're probably not gonna see it on your screens. You're just gonna see the headset aimed down. Give me a second. I gotta finish my cough medicine. Close out this map as Machu Picchu. And then I think I'm gonna race across to that big peak and just see if it's a feasible race from Machu Picchu to that peak. And then I'll probably drink some more cough medicine and use my inhaler. Thank you, dirty AI. Give me a second here. I got to put on my old man glasses because I'm like 172 years old. Machu Pikachu. Machu Pikachu. Did I spell that right? Machu Picchu. You spell that totally wrong. Machu Picchu. Sorry. Okay,
You know what's great about space? No one can hear you scream unless you have your mic on.
hmm. Nabbit. And I'm all out of cough medicine. Okay. For those of you who are watching this video years from now, or even hours from now, because there's nobody watching it live, that's for sure, just me. Anyhow, in the event that somebody watches this, I just saved the course that I ran around the base of the mountain. I saved it under Machu Picchu. Kitty, baby, come on up here. My cat Boots, he's going to come over. We get the tablet out of the way so you can have a lap. Anyhow, um, I'm going to go ahead and, I have to set a starting point here. And we're going to race to that mountain and just see if it's within racing distance or not. It may not be. It may be way out of range, but let's find out. Maybe. Sorry, I'm talking to the cat. Kitty cat.
I'm pretty sure I just saw a UFO outside the window. Oh wait, that's just a rock. Never mind.
Uh, Hold on. Let me set the start point. Okay. I guess I should probably start using the virtual desktop because right now, when I switch from VR, I have a monitor in front of me in the simulator, but it's just a little 7-inch monitor. It's just big enough that I can look down and see if there's those of you that haven't done VR. One of the problems you run into with VR is there may be a message on your main monitor telling you, asking you a question, and you're sitting there in VR like, where's the picture? Why isn't it loading? Why isn't it loading? Well, because it's been asking you something on the monitor for 10 minutes. So the 7-inch monitor I have here in my simulator in the front, right down front, it's mainly just there for that and occasionally having to click a few things. It's designed to be small so it doesn't get in the way of the base stations that are tracking my headset. I don't want it to get in the way. I have big monitors, but they would just get in the way of the VR system. So I just use a little 7-inch monitor in front. But I'm like old AF, so every time I use that little monitor, I got to get out my reading glasses and lean forward and read it and see what it says because I got old eyes, really old. Well, you can just go to Pornhub to see a unicorn riding a leprechaun. I seen that just the other day. I mean, that's not anything remarkable these days. Anyhow, I have set the first waypoint, and I say we go over there and see about setting a waypoint that way. Oh, that hurt. There's my mountain over there. Coming down slow. Oof. Just roll over. Dang. Um, Normally I'd do better than that, but I'm actually driving a right-handed stick with my left hand because I'm petting the cat with my right hand, and if I don't pet him, he'll get kind of mad. Yes, Boots. Good kitty. I'll give you some petting, even if I'm busy driving. Wow, this is not as smooth as I thought it was. I thought this was going to be like a rip roaring course. moves so now I can drive properly. So anyhow, let's head towards this. You know what it looks like? It looks like that thing in Australia, that big monolithic piece of rock in Australia. I forget what it's called. I'll Google it later, but man, it looks like it. For those of you that never seen it, if you Google it, you'll find it. It's just a big black monolithic piece of basalt, I think, in Australia. It's considered a cultural heritage site. And post in the comments if you remember the name of it, but it looks a lot like that. It just sticks up out of the desert there. I always wanted to go see it. So those of you driving in these courses, one tip I can offer you is you want a little bit of back pressure on the stick when you're driving on this bumpy stuff. If you've never been a skier, then it may not come natural. Those of you that skied, when you're in the moguls, you lean back on the skis, right? You lean back a little. Um, and that's kind of how it works in the SRV, just a little bit of back pressure. Space ducks. Yeah. Um, this is going to be a while to get to this sugar loaf over there. Oops. I mean, the thing looks like Mutual of Omaha. Heading of 65. Remember I mentioned earlier in the video that I should have a notepad in my pocket. I should be making headings and notes. And yeah, that's one of them. When you use this builder, you want to consider your start position, start direction, also notes on what are you facing when you start, because you're describing it to them. The start point's kind of invisible. Ed Copilot does have a little widget that sits up in the left corner of your screen or wherever you pin it, anyhow, that will point which way to go. But it does help if they describe it. That is really starting to look steep. Oh, so that's where we came from, right there. And that's where we're going now. And I'm thinking, just as someone who's climbed a few mountains, that we should probably come up the left side. The right side looks like it's a cliff. Yes, I knew there are 400 billion stars. I didn't truly understand it until I flew to Beagle Point, and then all of a sudden I understood it. So, and for those of you that are watching that are not explorers, um, here's a strange phenomena. Here's the deal. You've probably flown around the bubble a bit and you think you know your way around. You probably think you've wrapped your head around the size of the galaxy and all that, but until you've actually crossed the galaxy, you have no idea how big it is. Believe it or not, when you get to Beagle Point, your mind will be expanded. That first time that you flip the ship around, look back, and the entire galaxy fits in your window, that just blows your mind. It really does. But every single commander I've ever known who's flown to Beagle Point has expressed surprise. They didn't think it would be like that. They thought it would be different. They didn't realize it would be that tough, that long, that many stars. Basically, I can spew numbers at you all day long, but unless you're Sheldon, you really can't visualize it until you've done it. So I recommend all commanders make the trip past Beagle Point, even if you're not an explorer. It's just something you should do, and it will change. Going to Beagle Point will change your understanding of the galaxy. It really does. So, yeah, even if you're not an explorer, once you got some money and you've been around and you've got some engineers behind you, do it. Go past Beagle Point. Set a first footfall beyond Beagle Point. And if you are an explorer, then you should fly past Beagle Point till you run out of stars. You should fly to the roof till you run out of stars. Go to the floor till you run out of stars. And also go to the southern border. And ideally, go to the eastern and western edges of the galaxy, which I, in truth, full disclosure, have not done myself. I've been all over the galaxy. I have not gone east or west yet. I am Elite 5 in exploration, so I don't have the need to go out there anymore. Here we go. Look at that. Hopefully, the silver police won't show up. Space pancakes? Sure, I'll try them. I like green eggs and ham. All right. Now, I think I have to go over this little hump to get to the big sugar loaf. I'm going to have to Google it and find out what the name of that thing in Australia was. Oh, I don't want to go through this ugly stuff. Going around, it's a big pita, too. PETA is an acronym. I'm not talking about like pita bread, okay? You kids can Google it. You know what it means. You know what all those acronyms mean. Yeah, I'm looking like going right up right there. Oh, he spun out like an amateur, like Sheriff Cletus. Or what was his name from Dukes of Hazzard? I'm gonna go on up there. But you know what? Before I go up there, I should go take a bio break. Thank you, co-pilot. You are so awesome. Hey Google, what time is it?
5:07 p.m.
5:07 p.m. Did you hear that? No, you probably didn't. This is ugly territory. Just gonna go straight to the. Oh my god, look at this. This is awful. I could go faster, but I don't know. You just wind up crashing and stuff. Although this is 0.58 gravity, so you do stick to the road pretty well. It is closer to driving on Earth than a lot of other places. Most of the time when you're Baja on those little bitty moons, you're you're talking about zero point 0.1 gravity, zero point 0.2. That's why you bounce so much. That's why the geysers pitch you 4 kilometers into the sky. But this planet, 0.58 gravity, you actually got some traction. And this little SRV is grossly overpowered. Let's jump. No, maybe just drive over it. Oh, we're getting there. We're getting there. It's not that steep. Almost there. They came from behind. They got Starsky and Hutch. Are we at the top? Well, this doesn't look at all like what I thought it would look like. That's it. That's where he came from over there. How far away is that? 17 kilometers. That's a race course. So I'm gonna set this little spot right here as the final waypoint. And we will call this the Machu Picchu to whatever that Australian thing is called. I'll look it up here in a little while. All right, hold on. I gotta zero out my pedals. Give me a second. All right, I'm gonna set a waypoint. Okay. Don't say anything. Australian monolithic mountain site. Almost there. From behind. Start up. Up. Race course. I'm gonna set this little spot right here. Final waypoint. We will call this Machu Picchu, whatever that Australian thing is called. I'll look it up in a little while. I don't want to zero off my pedals. On my pedals.
I'm picking up some strange energy readings on the scanner, but I can't quite pinpoint the source. Anyone else getting anything?
This week on Chewy, shop and save up to 40% off on treats they want, toys they educational, mind you, totally above board. And if you happen to learn a few new positions, stretches, that's just a happy side effect.
Hello, beautiful beings of the Federation. I'm Dr. Crimson. Join me on Only Scans for a little wellness examination. We'll stretch together, just like I do with my close friend Dee.
I've had the wrong detents on this whole time. Fuck me. man. I don't like that it always posts both things to YouTube as well. Sorry, YouTube chat. If y'all are getting spammed by timed messages, please let me know.